Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Spins past it. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. To throw. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And hauled in here by Richard Rodgers. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Steps away to his left. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play. Looking to throw. And he finds Tyler Croft. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
They'll look to throw here. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And avoids the contact by sliding. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
They'll set up a throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
All right, he'll be dropped at the 30. And a shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Come on, let's go.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Back to throw now on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They're going to look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 7, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down.
Let's go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So he gets an early chance to redeem himself, and he's able to put that one through.
And how happy is he that he's able to get that second chance so quickly after the first miss, gets his confidence back up, and who knows, they may need him for an even bigger kick later in the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll come out throwing here on first down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Michael Kendricks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's got Fuller. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. He'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 45 yards. And the Texans are in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. to throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Ohio! Ohio!
They'll set up to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Taken in at the 11th. Oh, nice move. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Michael Kendricks in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal. And the Pigs get at the 7-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit.
And he pulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. Bullock good on the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He'll look to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 54 yards. And the Texans have broken the tie.
Yeah, nice catch. Nice catch. Touchdown, nice catch, Alfred.
Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Second down, here's Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it third down. First down at about the 21-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Let's go! White, 90!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bowen. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And they'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Houston! A great effort there. Officially with a return of 108 yards. And the Texans have broken the tie.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Bowen. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Back
to throw. And will take it all in for a Bengals touchdown. In for the score. And the Bengals draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point.
Partner, you got a pretty good hoops background. You've seen those late-in-the-half plays designed to get them a last shot, give them momentum. I think this touchdown equates to that.
Absolutely, and then they can take the lead here into the lockers. Big-time play.
Yeah, and let's see what they design coming out for the second half as well. Oftentimes when you get that momentum late, you find a way to carry it through.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And here comes the Texans now. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Hey, come on, let's go!
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Going deep for Hopkins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Green 39! Green 39!
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will get the 1st down as he's up to the 20-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Reeves. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A big-time play there for the Texans. 49 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays,
All right, here we go.
that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, That'll drive the team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking for his receiver sharp, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Let's go. What?
Over the middle, complete. It's Bowen. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Let's go.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. To Mixon on 1st down. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney. Coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90. Cut.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
They'll look to throw here. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's complete to Fuller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
looking to throw. And that's complete to Croft. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big gain of 31 on third down.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
They go play action here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a second down. On play action, they'll throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Texans on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. Now back to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Here we go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He drops it off for Bernard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Come on, let's go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays when the legs go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Let's go. What?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90. Cut.
They'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Oh, good move. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught left side, Hopkins. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jordan Willis in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to launch this, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Again, it's Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38.
He'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 40. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And the grab by Croft. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Wk1 Jones in on the tackle there. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. This one from 48 yards away. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Cincinnati, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.